Heimdall was in Norse mythology, the god whose trumpet would, or trumpet blasts would bring forth Ragnarok, which was their equivalent of Armageddon. There's not really a lot of information that I could find out about him, except for the fact that he was kind of the angel Gabriel of the Norse. It was his trumpet that would accomplish this feat, and Ragnarok is truly apocalyptic in Norse mythology. And so it occurred to me that that might be the jumping off place for this piece. The piece as a whole, really, it's in 4 movements, and it really only directly connects to Heimdall in the last movement, which is also called Heimdall's Trumpet, just to confuse matters. So the whole piece, as well as the final movement, bear the same title. And that movement is more programmatic, more descriptive, perhaps, than the first 3 movements, which are more conceived around the notion of trumpet calls, particularly kind of Wagnerian primeval trumpet calls. Also, the name of Heimdall is used. I have a system of spelling names and so forth, so I reduced his name to pitches, and that is an important motive throughout the piece. The process, really, for any piece of music, this one included for me, is to first know what the piece is about, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's a descriptive or narrative piece, but that, what kind of emotional world or expressive world it's going to inhabit, what it's trying to say in that sense, and then come up with a form. All of this is done mentally. I really don't do any sketching. I never write anything down. The only writing I do is the final score, which I still do the old-fashioned way, paper and, in my case, pencil. I'm just enough of a dinosaur to not really be able to make the transition to computer notation very easily. So the form will come next, some sense of what the structure of the piece will be. Then often gestures. If one thinks of theatrical gestures, this is a gesture, or this is a gesture, or this is a gesture. Musical equivalents of those. And decide what fits, what doesn't fit. Often what comes last, actually, are the actual pitches. It's a matter of then finding out what pitches go with those gestures, and rhythms and colors and so forth. And when I feel I have enough of this in my head, I'll start writing the piece. Doesn't mean I've made every decision yet. There still are a lot of moments where I might change my mind about something or go off in an unexpected direction, but I have to feel that I have enough points of reference in my head for a piece before I really feel I can start putting things on paper.